Alright, I'm actually doing this at the end of my hike, but I'm going to put this at the beginning of the video so you all know where I went. If you want to do this hike, so we parked right in here at the nature trail parking area. The sign at the entrance will say trail complex. So I walked over to here and connected onto the Southport Trail, hiked around through here to right there. I got on the Gunnery Trail, the Gunnery Hill Trail, and back out to the main road right here, which is the jogging trail, or some call it Thunder Road, and just made my way back to where we're at right now. And so the Civil War fort is going to be in this general area right there, and of course the old town of Southport is also in this general area. And when you take the Southport Trail, you're walking through the remnants of that. So just to give you an idea of the route that I took, you can see it, you know, on here. So if that helps you, thanks. How's it going, everybody? You were here today with the North Alabama Hiking YouTube channel. And so we're going to do a little bit of hiking through history. And I'm over here at the TVA reservation in Muscle Shoals. And what you see here is one of the old buildings from the CCC. You can tell that's a pretty old building, and this building is located just down from the Nature Trail parking lot, so it's easy to get to. This is a really good time of year to do the hike that I'm going to tell you about, because the vegetation is cleared up. It's not near as grown up. And I'm going to take you down to the Southport Trail, and then on to the old Civil War fort. Now, I've done some videos on that before, but I haven't done one on the building that we just went by. And I don't think I've done one on the Southport Trail, so we're going to do that. And as far as the scenery on the Southport Trail, you're just kind of hiking through the woods. Really nothing fancy to see. But the Southport Trail, there was a town called Southport on the southern banks of the Tennessee River, opposite of Florence. Some of this area was known as South Florence, but Southport was a large cotton mill industry prior to the United States Civil War. And there's informational markers that will describe that if you come out here and hike, and it's actually on the main road out there for your where the jogging trail is, so you can get all this information that I'm going to tell you. But if you're interested in this kind of stuff, and you've never been here before, this is a great time of year to come out and hike through this trail, because as you can see, it's a lot more clear now than what it would have been just a few months ago. So Anyway, I'm gonna hike on around through here, and then when I get to the Civil War fort, I'll do more video there, and we'll talk a little more about the Civil War fort and Southport and some of that stuff. So anyway, I'll be back when I get there. All right, we're around in the back side of the Southport Trail here. You can see these old stone steps. You can see why this was a good place to build a fort with all these embankments and things. And we're kind of on the back side of where that fort was at. So, well, we'll move on over to there. All right, y'all, I had to cut that last section a little bit short. There was somebody coming. So I was just down at the bottom of this bluff here on the Southport Trail. Now, where I started was where the Southport Trail connects to the old Nature Trail parking lot. So I kind of went around that direction, and then I got to the intersection where the Gunnery Hill Trail is, I believe is the name of it, and it's going to take you through the up the backside of what's left of the old fort here. All right, so all right, now here we are. Here we are. This is the old Civil War fort. You can still see the trench work where it was built up. So and you can see the trail goes right through it, so you can literally hike right in the middle of an old Civil War fort. So I'll talk about the fort. The fort was built in 1864, and it was built by Confederate troops. And basically they had to dig in here until they could cross over the Tennessee River. And now something to remember is that the Tennessee River was not dammed up at the time, and so it was there were times when the river was shallow enough that you could ride a horse across it. There were times that the river would flood out of its banks, and so they're waiting for the right time to do so. And I think they were also waiting probably for some more people to get here, because they were actually, the purpose after they left this fort was to go into Tennessee and attack federal troops in Tennessee. So as soon as they left this fort, I think they were here a couple of weeks or so, and they left the fort, and then they ended up in a couple of places. They were at they ended up in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and then on into Franklin, Tennessee. And if you've ever studied the Battle of Franklin, you'll know how significant that battle was, because the men that were stationed here they were in that battle, and it was a very, very heavy loss for them. The Federal troops were able to dig in good, and the Confederate troops, who were led by General John Bell Hood, charged across about a 2-mile open field towards an entrenched enemy, and it did not go well for them. They were decimated and had to retreat. But this is where they were stationed. This is where they were dug in before they crossed the river and started on that journey. And you can walk right through it. And the reason that they dug in the way that they did and built up the earthworks in the way that they did is it would have given them protection in case of an attack by Federal troops, or if a gunboat were to come up the river and try to attack. This offered some protection, and so that's why they did this. There were 29,000 troops stationed in this fort and around the area at the time, Confederate troops. Now, to the best of my knowledge, they were never attacked here during their stay, but there are other Civil War forts built near this area. One is across the river at near the Florence Coliseum. There was a fort there that I do believe came under attack at one time, and there was another fort on this same side of the river about a few miles further down the river, and this fort would have been located on the east side of Wilson Dam. I think it's called no, I can't remember the name of it. There was a fortification over there that, my understanding, also came under attack at one time, but I don't think this particular fortification did. We'll walk on down here to the historical markers. If there's nobody down here, we'll discuss it further, but I'll at least put them on video so you can pause it and read it. So right here is the town of Southport historical marker, and you can read what happened if you want to pause the video. You see a map here. So we've been hiking around this general area in here. And you can see it says Southport was founded in 1813 because the Tennessee River was only navigable as far as Muscle Shoals, and it became the largest cotton port industry east of Memphis. You can see the town began to struggle in the 1830s because of the newly built railroad, and it made a slight resurgence in the 1840s with the construct of the railroad bridge across the river. However, the Civil War had detrimental effects to the town's commercial trade. So you can kind of read about that here, and that trail takes you through the remnants of that location. So here's a little more of the fort. And you can also, on the Battlement Trail, you can walk through the center of this section of the fort as well. And you can walk around all through here. Now during the summertime, it's going to be pretty badly grown up. So that's why I say the winter is the best time to get out here and hike through the middle of it. All right, so now we're almost at the historical marker. So, good bit of information on this marker with some pictures of what one of these earthworks would have looked like. And there's a map of the Franklin and Nashville campaign. So if you want to, you can pause the video and read this. But you can see where it says the General John Bell Hood's forces marched from Georgia into this area in November of 1864. And the reason they had to stay here, the supplies were delayed and heavy rains made it almost impossible to cross the river. So the troops were detained for more than 3 weeks. Then it talks about when they went to the Battle of Franklin. And then about a month after that, Hood's remaining troops passed through the area again, but in full retreat. And the 3-week delay, it says down here at the bottom, it led to the Hood's defeat because they had allowed Union forces to reestablish themselves. So anyway, there's a good bit of information on that. So if you're into Civil War history and local history here in Northwest Alabama, this is a good hike to do to learn about that. So you can go through the Southport Trail, make your way back up through the old Civil War fort, and then you're not too far away from the old railroad bridge if you want to hike to it, and that's a piece of history as well. So hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.